Today's video is all about fun, and I have a question for you. Are you having any? If not, I hope today's video will change that and convince you why things such as fun, hobbies, and recreation are so important for women over 40 who want to design their ideal lifestyle. So when I talk to women over 40 and I ask them about hobbies, most of the time I get two responses. Number one, I get a blank stare like, girl, what are you talking about? And number two, I get, ain't nobody got time for that, because women are busy. Women over 40 are busy. They have families, they may have a spouse. A lot of them are caregiving for parents and things like that. There is a lot going on. And unfortunately, things like fun and hobbies and just taking some time out for ourselves, something that gives us joy, well, that's often looked at as frivolous. That's something that isn't giving back. It can be seen as being a waste of time. And I would like to challenge that because it's not. And, you know, I completely understand where these women are coming from because the same thing happened to me. Many years ago, I was at a dinner party and, you know, people ask questions as people do when they're trying to get to know you. And somebody asked me what I like to do for fun. What are my hobbies? And I did the exact same thing that some women do to me. I gave a blank stare and my life flashed before my eyes. And I started to think of, what do I do for fun? And all I could see myself doing was going to work, taking care of my daughter, doing chores, going to the grocery store, and sleeping. And so for me, that was my daily life. And sleeping became my so-called hobby because I didn't really do anything else. And that chance encounter at that dinner party really changed how I thought about hobbies and fun and doing things just for the pure joy of it, because it is important to our lives. And so I understand when women say they don't have the time, or, you know, it's a waste of time. It doesn't do anything for your life. It doesn't give back to your life. But like I said, I'm going to challenge you on that because I think that's incorrect. Fun and hobbies are not just some extra that maybe we can squeeze into our life whenever we have extra time. Well, there's no such thing as extra time. Who has extra time? Nobody has extra time. But it's something that you have to do for yourself. It's something that you have to fit into your life, just like anything else in your life. So in today's video, we're going to talk about some of the benefits of having fun and hobbies in your life and why I think they're so important, particularly for women over 40. The first reason has to do with relieving stress and our mental health. And as I pointed out, the reason a lot of women say that they don't have time for hobbies is because they're busy and there's so much going on in their lives. And that's the very reason why you need to incorporate hobbies and recreation into your life, because you need that outlet. You need something that you can do that's not related to work, that's not an obligation where you have to serve someone else. This is something that you solely do for yourself, for your own peace, for your own joy. And I think that is really important because if we're going to be able to function in our regular lives with everything that we have going on, at some point, we have to take some time for ourselves. And I think hobbies are a great solution for that. Hobbies such as yoga, painting, it could be photography, dancing, anything that you choose. Those things tend to remove people from their day-to-day lives and plant them in a place where they can relieve their stress. They can mentally escape from whatever is going on. And that's a very necessary and healthy thing for women. So no matter what it is that you like to do, think about this aspect of your life and how it can benefit your stress and how it can improve your mental health. And one thing I want to point out is I truly believe that hobbies should just be hobbies. Find something that you like to do. Think back to when you were a child. What did you like to do? I had so many hobbies when I was young. I was into theater. I was into gymnastics. I played a musical instrument. There were so many things going on all the time. And I'm sure there were things that you liked to do when you were younger. So think back to those times and what is it that you enjoy? Or maybe as you've gotten older, there might be something that you've always wanted to explore. Painting is something I've always wanted to do. I've never been really an artistic person, but I love to see other people do it. It seems like such a peaceful activity. So maybe I'll try it one day. I did take a pottery class once, which was very fun and very unique. So I would tell you, just explore things. Think of something that you've always wanted to do. There's so many opportunities out there these days, so don't be afraid to try something new. Or like I said, go back to something that you loved as a child. Either way, do something just for the joy of it. Another reason why hobbies and fun and recreation are so important for women over 40 is because of the social aspect of it. Now, we all know once you get out of high school, college, you start working a job, a lot of times our friendships change. A lot of times we lose friendships that we might have had just because of life. Life happens. People get busy. And so it's harder to meet up with some of the friends maybe we've had in the past. So having new hobbies, trying new things can really get you back into a social network, especially if you've removed yourself from it for whatever reason. Things that come right to my mind is like dancing, going out and having fun and listening to music and meeting up with other people and dancing. Like that can be so much fun. Not only are you doing something that you enjoy, but you're also around other people. You're networking, you're making social connections, you're building friendships, you're doing all the things that, again, give you that little bit of escape from just your day-to-day life. And it could be something like photography. Even though photography seems to be like a solo activity, but a lot of photographers travel. They go and they photograph weddings and things like that. And you can meet a ton of people doing that. You can explore new places. And all of these things are really beneficial as far as the social aspect. So again, think about something you can do and the social element of it. Because no matter what, we all need to be around people sometimes. Even people like me who are textbook introverts. At some point, you're going to want to get out and be amongst people. So what is that thing for you? Another thing hobbies can do is boost creativity. And this is something that I think as a society we've gotten away from because no one wants to be seen beginning. No one wants to be seen as a beginner, just starting something, just learning something. But I think that's so important as we start to age. Learn something new. It's okay. You don't have to come out of the gate being perfect at everything that you try. For me, YouTube is that thing. I'm still learning. I'm still growing. I'm still trying to figure this thing out. And yes, nobody's watching right now. I'm glad that you are though. But my channel is growing slowly and it's okay. I understand. I haven't been doing this for years and years. I hope and I plan to get better as I grow, and it's okay. It's something that is a creative outlet for me. It's something I've been wanting to do for a long time. And so I'm taking this journey and it's fine. And I want the same thing for you because you have to get out there and you never know what you're going to be good at until you try something. And that could be gardening. It's a lot of people who love to garden, who are really good at gardening. I'm not one of those people. You know, the plants behind me, the ones that are real, it takes me a lot to keep them alive because I just don't have a green thumb. That's just not my thing. but I'm not afraid to try. Maybe it's not plants. Maybe I can grow vegetables or something like that. Maybe you can too. So you never know. Give yourself the opportunity to try new things. We're all not going to be perfect at everything out of the gate, the first thing that we try, but keep at it and you never know. You will start to learn new things. It will boost that creativity. It will do something to that artistic part of our brain. And you will find you might get that dopamine hit just from learning something new. And that's the kind of dopamine hit that we want, is a boost of creativity, learning something new. Hobbies are perfect for that. So find one, find something that you can do. And as I mentioned before, it's great if it's something you enjoyed doing maybe when you were young or earlier in adulthood, but also don't be afraid to try new things. And as we try new things, you will find that also your confidence improves because you're not stuck in this rut of these labels that you are in your regular day-to-day life. You might be the boss, you might be mom, you might be grandma, you might be all these different things. But when you do hobbies, you build confidence in new things, as I just talked about. You might suddenly be an artist and you've never called yourself an artist before. You might try cooking. Maybe you thought you never were a good cook before, but try it. It might be a certain type of cuisine that you've got some talent there. So don't be afraid to try new things. And as you start to learn, you will convince yourself that I am not too old. It is not too late. I can do new things. And that's really important because when you get used to playing these certain roles that you've been playing, and for women over 40, our lives are pretty set. You know, we have all those labels, but doing something new, building that confidence will also convince you there's more out there. There's more things that you can add to your list of labels that maybe you didn't think you could add before. Photographer, musician, artist, hairdresser, doesn't matter. Pick something. But that confidence is critical as we age. So hobbies and having fun and recreation, these are things that keep our lifestyle in balance. And that is so critical when you want to design your ideal lifestyle. You don't want your day-to-day, your week-to-week, your month-to-month to only be about work and home chores and obligations. You want to balance that with things that you enjoy. And that's the critical piece to all of this. So there is a place for it in your life. There is room for it if you make room for it. And it's critical that you do. I highly recommend that you carve out, it doesn't have to be a long time. It might be something, maybe you knit for 20 minutes. That could be enough to add some balance to your day and to your life. Also, I'm not going to speak too long about this because this is something that is kind of a side tangent, because in this video, I really want to emphasize you finding hobbies, you doing things just for fun and for the joy of it. But I will mention that sometimes the hobbies that you choose can also add to your financial life. So as I mentioned before, the confidence, the creativity, the new skills that you build, the networking, all of that can someday influence your finances. It may earn you an income. It may open doors to opportunities. So all of that is there. And I know in today's world, people want you to monetize everything. And I don't believe you need to monetize everything. I truly believe that you need to have something that you enjoy doing just for yourself, just for fun, something that you can experiment. You're not worried about the world watching you. You're not worried about making money from it. I truly believe that. But for some people, I do want to mention that sometimes building these skills can get you through a rough patch. Maybe something that you do or did as a hobby could help you bridge that gap, maybe in between jobs, or if you're making another type of transition, it could get you a little bit of the funding that you need on the side. That's an important aspect of it too. But like I said, I really want to emphasize that you find something that you just enjoy doing and you just want to do for fun. So the flip side of that, and something I have to mention because this is a finance channel after all, I want to caution you about something. When it comes to hobbies, be very careful. There are many hobbies that we can do that are low cost. Think hiking, think book club, just getting together for tea and cookies as you rotate through friends' homes. Things like that can be done on a budget. But I will caution you that in today's age, sometimes people start hobbies and they spend more time building the hobby than actually doing the hobby. And here's what I mean. Sometimes, let's go to the photography example. You may want to learn photography. That's great. But be careful that you're not buying multiple cameras, that you're not buying multiple lenses, that you don't convince yourself that you need this, and this in order to start a photography hobby. Because sometimes starting a hobby, for example, for photography, leads to just buying stuff for photography. You know what I mean? We don't want to get into that habit, because soon you'll find that you're doing more shopping for the hobby than actually doing the hobby. And so that's going to ultimately have a negative effect on your finances. And that's not what we want here. We're going backwards. That's not the goal here. So be very careful with that. And for those of you who enjoy travel, travel gets people all the time. Yes, travel can be a wonderful hobby, but be very careful. Travel is one of those things that gives you a dopamine hit. And a lot of people call it the travel bug. You get the travel bug. Once you do it once, you want to do it again and again and again, which is fine if you can afford it. But the problem is that dopamine hit causes you to spend on things that you don't have the finances for. And that's going backwards. Now, as we design our life, if that's something that you want to make a big part of your life, then that's something that we would incorporate into your financial plan. But that needs to be planned, because travel can get expensive really quickly. And that 1 week trip turns into a 2-week trip. And when it was once on a budget and you were staying at hostels, all of a sudden you need the 5-star experience. So it's very easy to get caught up in something I love to do. It's fun. Yes, but please make sure that your finances are prepared for whatever it is you're trying to do. You can go down a rabbit hole of equipment and trying to do this and trying to do that. Musicians is another one. All of the musicians I know have multiple pieces of equipment. If you play an instrument, if you're a guitar player, I can almost guarantee you have 3, 4, 5, 7 guitars, which is fine. That's not a problem if that is planned. If that is part of your financial plan, it's not a problem. It only becomes a problem when you really can't afford it. It only becomes a problem when it hasn't been planned for. So that's the message that I'm trying to give you. Just be very careful that you're not taking your finances backward in the name of hobbies and recreation and fun. So just wanted to caution you about that. So now I want to hear from you. What's a hobby that you love to do? Or what's a hobby that you would like to do? How would you answer the question, what do you do for fun? Drop me a comment. I'd love to hear from you. This video is part of my lifestyle design series for beginners. And if you've missed any of the videos, go ahead and check out my playlist and get caught up, because there's lots of things that are really important for designing your ideal lifestyle, and I don't want you to miss out on any of them. So that's it for this video. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next one.